Hello. Today we shall look at the heaven and hell concept in the major religions of the world. Heaven, immense joy, immense pleasure. The kind God, the compassionate God, the ever forgiving God bestows upon us all the joys that we can imagine in heavens. Such a nice God, such a kind God. And hell, fire. We are hung from our feet, and there's fire under our head. Our head is burning, or we are tied to a red hot iron pillar and we are being beaten by red hot iron rods. God has appointed people to torment us for the rest of eternity. He may also plant a tree inside our body which grows and we wriggle in pain. God is not content with just burning us. When our skin has been burnt, He replaces it with new skin. So the torment continues. The good, kind, compassionate, merciful God has changed into a cruel God, a relentlessly cruel God. Even a human being cannot be that cruel. Even a beast cannot be that cruel because the beast will kill the human. But God will not kill. He will keep on tormenting. The good, compassionate God has gone for a toss. What is the reality? Is God kind, compassionate, merciful? Or is He vengeful, jealous, spiteful, cruel? Let's examine this question from the viewpoint of the different religions of the world. Let's first come to Hinduism. When I say Hinduism, I include the other indigenous faiths of India, that Jainism, Buddhism and Sikhism. There are differences between these religions, among these religions, but those differences are theoretical and not really applicable to our topic today, which is heaven and hell theory. So I will club all these religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism and Sikhism, under the umbrella term Hinduism. Now what does Hinduism say about heaven and hell concept? In the Hindu purans, there are descriptions of unbearable yet to be borne torment in hells, much like the descriptions we have in the Bible and the Quran. But those are the purans of Hinduism. They are not core Hinduism. The purpose of purans is to introduce beginners to God or to the heavens or to spirituality. The interesting anecdotes of the history of heavens and very early history, very ancient history of the earth, those stories lead to questions. An answer to those questions become stepping stone to higher levels of spirituality. So the descriptions of hell in the Hindu Purans are not core. And as one progresses in the spiritual journey, one realizes that they are peripheral. What I am going to talk about here, is core Hinduism, where you have passed the Puranic stage. You are into the Vedanta. So please don't be confused with certain Puranic stories about hell and what I will say. I talk of core Hinduism. The Purans are for beginners. It's like a child He cannot be taught trigonometry when he is still memorizing the multiplication tables. It's like that. The Purans lead to higher levels. I'll talk about the core level, core Hinduism. Okay, now what does Hinduism say about heaven and hell concept? In my previous video called Let's Visit the Causal and the Astral Planets, we saw that we are comprised of three bodies. The gross body, inside it the astral body, and inside that the causal body. And the soul, the fragment of God that's in us, is encased in the causal body. We have got this body on this planet because it is most suitable for us to fulfill our unfulfilled desires of past life. After repeated births and deaths as humans, we reach a stage where we don't have any desire left that can be fulfilled by a human body and on this planet. Then we shed our gross body and move to the astral body to fulfill our astral desires. There we perform deeds, karma, like we performed on earth. It is astral karma there. And the same cycle repeats. We have to exhaust our astral karma to overcome our astral desires, and then come to a stage when we have no astral desires, so we don't even keep the astral body, we go to the causal planets with the causal body. And the same cycle repeats, performing karma and redeeming karma, overcoming desires and not allowing new desires to be born in us. And when we shed the causal body, when we have no further causal desire left, then the soul is liberated and it merges with God. God in Hinduism is not a person. God in Hinduism, as we have seen before in one of my past videos, God is the eternal cosmic ocean. But to keep things simple, we say God. Okay. Now what does Hinduism say about heaven and hell concept? Let's get into Hindu cosmology. Broadly speaking, this creation, not just this planet, the entire creation, this planet and other planets in this creation, they are divided into three worlds. The Bhuvarlok or the gross world, the physical world. Second is the Antarlok, the astral world, and third is Shivlok, the causal world. These three worlds together incorporate 14 planets. There are 14 planets, planet number 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on till 14. As we rise from the first planet to second, to third and so on till the 14th planet, the quality of life on each planet improves. Beings on the higher planets enjoy a better quality of life than the lower planets. The higher planets are colloquially called heavens, the lower planets are colloquially called hells. But this term, heaven and hell, is descriptive. They are not absolute terms. They are all planets. If not planets, we can take them as gates or dimensions or levels of consciousness. Whatever way we take it, whether they are actual planets or they are different levels of consciousness on one planet, these are technical matters which don't really affect our understanding on a conceptual basis. We have to keep something for discovery later in our spiritual journey. But if we understand the concept now, then life can be lived more fearlessly. Okay. So what happens now? What do these 14 planets mean to me? We are now on the 8th planet. from bottom, 8th planet. Above us are 6 planets. The planets above us are heavens, the planets below us are hells. And the cosmic ocean, that is God, is above the 14th heaven. It is not part of the heavens or the hells or the planets, I mean. So now, what happens? I take myself as an illustration. Suppose I die now. What happens? I go to a court. The judge in the court is the Lord of Death. His name is Yam or Yamraj. His chief assistant is someone called Chitragupt. So when I am in court, Chitragupt reads out my karmas, my deeds on earth. My good deeds and my bad deeds or sins are separated and weighed on a weighing scale. They are counted, but they are weighed. For example, theft. Theft is bad karma. But all thefts are not equally serious sins. If I steal something to feed myself or my family, or to buy medicines for my family or myself, and I am poor, I don't have money, and I steal, this stealing is far lighter sin than swindling somebody for $1 million. So though both are instances of theft, the weightage of the intensity of the sin differs. So what is actually measured is the weight of our deeds, good deeds and bad deeds. Suppose my good deeds weigh more than my bad deeds. What happens? Then Yamraj, the judge in the court, sends me to a higher planet. Now we are on the 8th planet, he sends me to the 9th planet or 10th planet, depending on weightage that my good deeds got. So the judge decides which planet I should go to. But since my good deeds are more than my bad deeds, I go to a higher planet, and that becomes heaven for me. So planet 8 we are now on, planet 9 is heaven to us. When we are on planet 9, planet 10 is heaven to us. And when we are on planet 10, then planet 9 is hell to us. As we go higher, the planets are more heavenly. As we come lower, the planets are more hellish or less heavenly. So what do I do when I go to the first or second astral planet? There, I get all facilities to fulfill my unfulfilled ambitions on earth. So I enjoy life the way I want to. As we saw in my previous video, in the astral planets, we just imagine something and it happens. We want something and we get it, whatever it is. So my unfulfilled ambitions in the life that I just left are fulfilled to the maximum, to my heart's content on the astral planet where I go. Once my ambitions have been fulfilled, it is time for me to come back to earth. Why? Because the bad karma that I did, which were weighed, but which were less than my good karma, so I came to the astral planet, that those bad karmas have to be redeemed. Each planet has a chief spirit or a chief soul. Before I come down to earth, I have a consultation with the chief soul of the astral planet where I am, and we work out a plan for my life on earth. So I am told that these are your bad karmas which you have to redeem. There is no way out. Say my bad karma was that I slapped someone in my previous life. Now somebody has to slap me on earth. So I will come to chief soul there cautions me, look, you know why you are going back to earth. You have fulfilled all your desires on this planet. Now you have no desire left. Go to earth. Just wait for that one slap to come on you. Then your karma is redeemed, and don't develop any new ambitions. Because if you develop new ambitions, you perform new karma. So just let life flow. Don't perform any karma. Don't develop any desires. Just that slap has to come to you. So with that lesson in my mind, in my memory, I entered the womb of a woman through my father's sperm. When I'm in the womb, I remember all that I was advised in the astral planet, in the heaven that I was in. I just have to wait for that one slap. I will not slap back the person who slaps me. Because if I slap him back, I performed another karma, for which I will come back again to earth. So I will wait for somebody to slap me. And I will develop no new desire or ambition. When I am born, when I am an infant, I still remember that. We have noticed infants in their sleep sometimes cry for no reason, sometimes gurgle, laugh. It looks so nice for no reason. We don't know why they are laughing or crying. But they are laughing or crying when they recall past memories. Memories of the past life. On earth, in the court of Yamaraj, or in the astral planets where they were before they came back to earth. We don't know. We think that a child knows nothing. He knows, he comes with the tradition, with the record of all his past activities. And he knows why he is on earth now, for that one slap. But when he reaches the talking stage, he forgets. That is the charisma of nature, or of God, if we say. And why does he forget? He has to forget. Because if he remembers the purpose of his coming here again, he will perform no karma. He will not enter into any bondage, in family bondage particularly. Then the human race will go extinct. But the human race must continue. The drama must continue. So there is a mechanism in nature that the child forgets all that he consulted the chief spirit of the astral planet he was on. And he starts life all over again, starts performing karma, and the whole cycle repeats. Okay, now this was an instance of my good deeds being weightier than my bad deeds. Suppose my bad deeds were weightier than my good deeds, what would happen? In that case, I would not go to the astral planets. That is, I would not go to the heavens. I'll come back to earth. But how? Suppose I had killed somebody in my past life. That was my bad karma, which tilted the scale in favor of sin, in favor of bad karma. So I would have to come back to earth to be killed by somebody else. Now I am told in the court of Yamaraj that you are going back to earth to be killed by somebody. The sin of killing somebody has to be redeemed. That bad karma has to be redeemed. So you have to go there and be killed. But don't perform any new karma. Let your next life on earth run as programmed by the law of nature, till you are killed. Whatever good karma you had performed in your prior life will decide the quality of life you will live on earth. Live that quality of life, take life as it comes, don't develop new desires, don't perform new karma. You will be killed and you will be redeemed of that sin of killing in your prior life on earth. So you will be without any bad karma in your next life. And that is good for you. Then you will be closer to long-term residence in the heavens, in the astral planets. I say, okay. And I come back to earth through a woman's womb. And I remember everything as to why I am coming back to earth. I remember it when I'm in the womb, when I'm infant, when I'm not in the talking age. Once I start talking, I forget it all again. For the same reason that I explained earlier. Now, this was a case where I came to earth from the court of Yamaraj directly. Suppose my bad karma was such that to redeem it, I would have to be born in a lower form of life or at a lower level of life. Suppose my sin in my prior life on earth was that I killed a cow, and if I had killed a cow in my prior life on earth, I have to come back to earth as a cow and somebody will kill me. But in order to come back to earth as a cow and live on earth, I need to be trained. As a human, I used to walk on 2 legs. As cow, I have to walk on 4 legs. I must get accustomed to being yoked. Now this requires training. And for that training, I am sent to a specific lower planet, which you can call hell. In such a case, the so-called hell becomes a training school for me, being trained for inferior life. It is not just if I am to be born as an animal. Suppose my prior life on earth was that of a very rich man. I had a very big house, living in a villa. My next birth on earth, my next life on earth, I have to live in a slum. I need to be trained. It is easy for a poor man to live the life of a rich man. But it is difficult for a rich man to live the life of a poor man. He needs to be trained. So if we are coming back to earth at a lower level or for a lower quality of life than the one we lived in a prior life, we need to be trained, and the training is given in the so-called hells. So going back to the example of me being born as a cow on earth, after I have been trained to be a cow, to live as a cow, I come back to earth as a cow. And when time comes, I am killed by a man. So I am redeemed of that karma of killing a cow in my previous life, and the man who kills me when I am a cow in this life, he takes my bad karma. So I am redeemed of it. And he will be born as a cow in his future life, and somebody will kill him. That's how the drama of life continues. So this was an instance of my bad karma being heavier than my good karma. So I did not go to the heavens. From the court of Yamaraj, I came to earth directly, or I came to earth via a hell. The third possibility is that when I die, I have no ambitions left. I have fulfilled all my earthly ambitions. But I have some bad karma to be redeemed, as will be decided in the court of Yamaraj. So, I am sent to an appropriate hell, which again can be 1 or 2 levels below the earth. And there I am treated like a soiled cloth in a washing machine. I am cleansed of my pending sins. Because I don't need to now come back to earth because I don't have any earthly ambitions left. But I just have to redeem some bad karma, which I redeem in the hell. So the hell, which was a training ground for me in my prior two examples, now becomes a refinery. I am refined. And then, so I reach a stage in that hell where I neither have any earthly desires, nor do I have any karma, any earthly karma to redeem. Then I go to the first astral planet. I go to heaven on long-term stay. And then I perform astral karma. I have astral desires and I redeem that karma and desires in the same way as I redeemed my earthly karma and fulfilled or overcame my earthly desires. So that is how the theory of heaven and hell stands in Hinduism. What about the Abrahamic faiths? In all the three Abrahamic faiths, Judaism, Christianity and Islam, there is no coming back to earth.